Hello, this is a tutorial on getting started with Google Classroom. After you've signed in to your Google account, to get to the Classroom app, you're going to go to Apps, find Classroom, which you'll have to hit More, and then it should be at the bottom. And when it's your first time going to Google Classroom, you need to verify whether you're a student or a teacher, and you can do that towards the bottom where it says Get Started Using Classroom. I am a teacher. And here is the screen where you can create your first class. In fact, all your classes are going to be able to be created by hitting the plus icon and hitting Create Class. You can give your class whatever name you'd like. And then you also have the option below to create section headings or groups. But we'll just call this first one my first class. So before you begin your first assignments, you have to add some students to your class. And we do that on the Students tab by hitting Invite. And you're able to search for students individually. If you have groups already created, they will pop up here. But we can search for individual students by typing in their name. And I have a couple created already that I can add. And what this does is it sends an invitation to their inbox to join the class. There currently isn't a direct add function, so they're going to have to accept that invitation before they can start working in the class. You can also interact with students through email, through Google Classroom by hitting the email icon, and it will open up your inbox and a message. So after your students have joined the class, you're going to be able to interact with them. There is a class code that you can give them if there's new students, if you don't want to invite them through this process. While you're in the student screen, you can also control how much commenting access students have. You can see the three options here. When these two comment ones are set, they will send comments directly to your inbox, so that can fill up pretty quickly. So I prefer to have only teacher can post or comment, but depending on your class and how much interaction you want them to have with each other, you can select either one of these. So back to the stream. Aside from taking the tour, what you can do is down here in the corner where the plus symbol is where all of your assignments are, your questions, your announcements. And I just want to go through each one of these so you understand kind of the functionality of each one. The first type of basically assignment that you can give is by creating a question. There's one called assignment and one called announcement, and essentially they work like assignments, but as you'll see, they are different. So first, to create a question, the title of your question goes here, and then a description. Down here. You can set a due date for it, and also an optional time. Below are where attachments go. If you want students to attach a document to answer this question, they can do that directly from their device. If you want them to attach something from Google Drive, they have the ability there. a YouTube video that they can attach through that link, or a link to an external website they could add there. At this point, once you have the question created, you can ask the question, and these two options are fairly important, especially if their question is going to be longer. You're going to want to allow them to edit their answers so that they can come back and complete the question if they don't finish it in class, or whatever your setting is, and then also to see and reply to each other's answers. If you want this to be a strict assessment that you don't want other students seeing it, you would uncheck that. Otherwise, if you want them to, you could leave it checked, and then you do want them to be able to come back, and you hit ask. And what that does is it puts the question into your classroom, and you can see all the vital information there. Right here you're seeing 0 done, 0 not done, because those 3 students that we invited haven't accepted that invitation yet. Once they do, this number will always be represented by how many students are in your class. And as they work on their answers, these numbers will change, and you can choose to view those. And we'll talk more about assessment and things like that later on. So that's a question. An announcement is different than a question. It's much simpler, where you simply can just say a quick note to whatever you want the students to do for that day. And again, you have the same capability down here to attach different things. If you want, this is a good one to serve as an initial video to watch in class as they come in, or to view a website, whatever it is. But it's simpler than a question. Notice there's no interaction on the student's part. It's just a simple announcement. The last one is the assignment, which has the most capability to skip that, to be able to get feedback from students and set things up. So again, just creating some titles. Again, you have the capability to set your due date. One of the nice things about this option too is that it shows up in your calendar. For every class that you create, it will create a Google Calendar tab in your Google Calendar. So it's a nice way to be able to look at all of the assignments coming up, things like that. When you create an assignment, you can either have students, if they're going to be creating some sort of document, a slide, presentation, or a sheet or document, whatever it is, they can attach it just like they could before down here at the bottom. But the difference with Google Classroom that a lot of people like is the ability to make a copy of a document for your students with their name on it, that they can then complete. So if I give you an example, so here's an example of how we can upload a document that we want students to work on. In this case, it'll be a sheet. You can do it right from your computer, again, like from Google Drive. Selecting the file. And at this point, you have the option to do one of 3 things: either making it a view-only file, a file that you want students to edit, which it will only edit the copy that you submitted, so everyone's edits will go onto that one copy, which isn't very practical at all. There are some instances when you may be able to use that, but the most effective way is to make a copy for each student. By doing that, each student will get a copy of this with their name on it, and when they submit it, it will put in one document with their name on it into a folder in Google Classroom. It also shows up when you go to assess it. So that is a real quick overview of Google Classroom, how to initially set it up. Next time we'll talk about how to assess assignments that have been completed by students. Thanks for your time.